This podcast is brought to you by People's Food Co-op, a community-owned grocery store in downtown La Crosse, Wisconsin and Rochester, Minnesota, that promotes local farmers and producers through an emphasis on fresh, healthy, sustainable food. Anyone can shop. Everyone is welcome. For more information, visit them online at pfc.coop. This podcast is also brought to you by Trempealeau County Tourism. Whether your idea of fun is bicycling, hiking, or canoeing, afterwards head into the heart of one of their welcoming communities to experience historic architecture, independent shops, and locally owned dining establishments. Visit Trempealeau County Tourism online. We took a moment to chat with Kerry Alexander of the band Bad Bad Hats. We talk about the new album Walkman, the process for recording and writing, COVID, their hilarious music videos, and their upcoming tour, which hits Midwest Music Fest in Winona, Minnesota. You can find more conversations, food reviews, live music, and events on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is La Crosse Local.
My name is Kerry Alexander. I was born right here in St. Paul, Minnesota. And I guess one of my early memories of music is that when I was young, a family friend had made my mom a series of mixtapes with some of her favorite songs from each decade. And as like a toddler, I was very drawn to the Pink 80s tape. And so I have very strong memories of loving Burning Down the House was on there. Didn't I Bring Your Love Down by Yaz. And It Takes Two, Rob Ace. So yeah, I think that those are my earliest memories of music.
Do you think any of that has carryover on your new album?
That's a good question. You know, you would wonder if that is the foundation of the music that I make. And I don't know if it's as easy to draw a line from those to now, but it's got to be in there somewhere. I feel like those three songs especially they're really catchy, they're upbeat, they're danceable, but they're also a little quirky. And I think those three things do show up in music I gravitate towards today and the kind of music I like to write. So I think that's the common thread.
So, you have a new album out, Walkman. What was the process for recording and writing this one? Was there any sort of issues related to COVID, or is it something that came out pretty quick or fast? Or
yeah, this album, we went into it wanting to write a somewhat more guitar forward because we've been playing as a trio for a bit. We've sort of gone back and forth between a trio and a quartet over the years. But we're back to a trio, and I kind of wanted to write some songs that fit the trio vibe a little better that we could sort of rock out to. So I think we knew we were going to do a lot more like live recording together, trying to get some of the parts down like as a unit. And that kind of made the recording process go like a little quicker. We took a lot of time to record Lightning Round, and this we kind of went back to just like a 3-week formula. But because our schedule was kind of weird, we did it in like 3 chunks, and we did 2 of the chunks pre-pandemic, and then we had to finish 2 songs sort of in the middle of 2020. I don't think you can hear the pre-pandemic, post-pandemic difference. I think we did a good job of making them all feel like they were written in, the same glorious, blissful ignorance is bliss time. But yes, so I was a little concerned that it might be on hold for a long time, but thankfully we were able to come back together and finish the album.
I've seen you play a few times in Winona. This was a while pre-COVID.
Sure.
And it just seemed like there was always some, there's always some noise behind you guys in the sense of like, up and coming sort of thing and really getting some momentum. How was the COVID experience for you? Did you feel like it opened up an opportunity to be creative, or is it just a downer for you in the band?
I think it started out as a big downer because we had just had to end a tour early when the pandemic started. And that tour was feeling really successful, feeling really like, oh, cool. Like it was sort of the end of our lightning round album cycle, but we were still had really good turnout, and we were like, this is great, you know? And so we were feeling really excited about what was to come in 2020 with like touring and shows. And then we're forced to come home early. And for like the first few months, like, I don't think I wrote anything. Like I maybe wrote like one song, but we were doing a cover live streams, and that was kind of like taking up all my brain space. But in some ways I think that was maybe like a good practice or something, just like playing other people's songs and like sort of just like learning different chord progressions and like, oh, what's this chord that, you know, the Beatles are using here? What's that all about? And so maybe that was subconsciously, you know, like building up inspiration. And then at the end of 2020, we started a Patreon where the whole premise is that we write an original song every month around like a theme. So like a 60s theme or like a song with a key change. And since then, I've been writing probably more songs than like I've ever written, like consistently. And so that's been really great, actually. So we sort of like blew through what is looking like maybe our fourth album, just because we're like producing so much music. So yeah, it started out low, but now we're coming back.
Coming back. So just kind of digging into your music and your videos the past couple of days. You have a few videos out now for the album, including Milky Way, Detroit Basketball. What's the inspiration for these? You do mention the word quirky earlier.
Yeah.
What is your attitude towards creating videos for this?
I really like the music video process, and like I like the visual and the audio arts, like the way that they complement each other and come together is like such a beautiful like synergy. I often struggle to think of music video ideas just because you could like do anything, and also people have done a lot of stuff already, so it's hard to come up with something that like feels new. And on our album Lightning Round, I was really stumped because we had written a sort of a much more like mellow, melancholy record, and I really like that about Lightning Round, that it has sort of like, even though there's still poppy songs, it's kind of got this like gloomy like air to it. People who have been to our shows know that, you know, we tell jokes and we like kind of don't take it too seriously. We take the music seriously, but we don't take ourselves seriously. So I think I struggle with any music video where like I would need to just be like like forlorn, like licking the camera. Like I don't know how to do that. So when we wrote Walkman, there were so many great songs that I felt like lent themselves to sort of like a more silly concept, or like we could show off like the personality that we feel like comes across when we play our live shows. And I think I had Elvis on the brain because like the first song on the record, the first line is heavy metal rock and roll. And so I think I was just thinking about the King. I think my first idea for the video was that there was like a opening for an Elvis impersonator at a bar, and someone wanted the job, and they're like, no, you're not right for this job. And then they went to like an Elvis training program to like become an Elvis impersonator. But then I don't know how that became Elvis speed dating. I like that concept probably more. And then I think Detroit Basketball, I just had this idea. I love any kind of like getting the band together montage, you know, like Ocean's 11 or whatever. That felt like a fun concept. And then also to sort of poke fun at like pandemic, you know, like hobbies that we all developed at home.
He says it doesn't love me, that's his final decision. Guess I'll move out and start feeding the pigeons. Stop and start it over again. Stop and start over again.
Yeah, it came together pretty naturally and fit well with the music.
Kind of reference how your shows go with being, you know, kind of joking around. You have a show coming up at Midwest Music Fest. It was one of my favorite festivals, you know, right down the river from La Crosse here, coming up in Winona. What can people expect from your shows? Like, what's going to happen?
You know, we like to tell some stories. We like to tell people what the songs are about, give them a little context, take a second. But then we're a rockin' power trio. Expect me to put on my fuzz pedal here and there, but also we get softer too. We kind of run the gamut. You'll hear old songs, but you'll hear a lot from our new album, Walkman, too. So we try to have something, old fans and new fans. Keep it lighthearted, keep it fun, keep people dancing.
So what's next? Is there anything coming down the road that you're excited about?
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited to come back to Midwest Music Fest because that'll kind of that's like sort of the beginning of the roller coaster. That's just starting to drop into the coaster for the rest of the year. So that'll be a great way to sort of get back into playing shows and being back in these places that we love going to. Because right after Midwest Music Fest, we're doing like a West Coast tour. So that'll be really nice. I'm hoping the weather's really good. Go to the beach. I don't know. And then we're also looking to be in other parts of the country later in the summer. So yeah, we got all kinds of stuff coming. We'll probably be announcing even more shows soon.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit before and after Midwest Music Fest, you just have a series of shows all the way through May. Must be pretty exciting.
It is. It does feel good to get back to work.
So what's the best avenue for people to follow along if they want to check out your music or just keep tabs on you?
Instagram is pretty good. That's where we hang out. If you're a Facebook user, Twitter user, we're on there. And then, we're on all the streaming sites, but also just babbahats.com, will lead you down all these paths. You can find, whatever you're looking for in Baba Hats land.
Lacrosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at Lacrosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the Lacrosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.